Well, hello everyone. This is Lawrence. Making a video I've been wanting to do for a long time. Um, more recently, I did some major changes to my vinyl room, so the video is going to be like a quick panorama view of the vinyl room. I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible, but I will do follow-up videos to show you more details of it. But this is just a quick panorama view. A few things. This vinyl room is in a portion of the house on the second floor where we had a addition put on some years back, and so this is kind of my area, and I enjoyed it. It's my hideout, my man cave, my get away from the world place. So I'm really enjoying it. Since I'm retired, I've enjoyed it a lot more. Um, it's actually two separate rooms that are divided by um, a wall that doesn't run the entire length. This was supposed to be one room, but because of structural issues, they had to put a support wall, which is fine. Um, so that was done many years ago. Recently, I found a really nice vinyl cabinet at the Union Mission for like $8. It holds like 160 albums. It needed some tender loving care and some 2x4 supports at the bottom, but we got it as steady as a rock now. Um, I had a friend help me with the final touches of this vinyl room. I mean, it's gone the evolution of mankind and its development, monkey to where we are today. I'm not sure if that's much of an improvement. Um, my friend was instrumental on setting up my stereo system, so I take full advantage of the best way to listen to the music in positioning the speakers. And he did some other things with the speakers too to give full impact. Um, I got two floor speakers there, but they're mounted up high, and two bookshelf speakers here. And when I sit down right here, I'm able to hear everything. Um, my taste in music, well, this is what happened. I jumped on the CD bandwagon in the 80s, and unlike a lot of people, I kept my albums. People were just replacing their favorite albums on CD and getting rid of their vinyl records. Well, I thought to myself, I better keep my vinyl records, for whatever reason. They're not making them anymore. And so I put them in storage, and when the vinyl revitalization happened, revival, I pulled them out, shelved them, started hitting the thrift stores, and this was in the early 2000s, and was able to buy a lot of rock albums I didn't get the first time around. Either I was between jobs, starving. I had to be very selective what I would buy, I would buy the new Springsteen album, but not the Sea Level album I was interested in. So I was able to fill a lot of gaps. Also, about mid 1990s or even early 1990s, I felt like I was getting a little bored with the rock music that was popular. I wasn't into grunge or anything like that. I mean, there was some good stuff, but I thought I'd take a break and get into the music that was popular in my parents' era when they were young. So I got into the jazz and classic jazz, big band music, and the big names, anywhere from the roots of jazz on up to fusion, blues, and the classic vocal period, the Sinatras, Ella Fitzgeralds, um, Dinah Washington, just to name a few. And so my taste in music has really expanded, so I'm all over the map, even classical and folk. So I was able to really build a nice jazz album collection from thrift store finds, um, which is very cool. And also thrift store finds the classic vocal eras type of music, the Nat King Cole's, the Tony Bennett's, all that. So I got a wide variety of taste in music. So what I'm going to do is lift the camera up and give you the quick panorama tour. I got a lot of themes going on. Everything's pretty well filled up. And again, my friend who helped me with the stereo system, he has a decorative eye, so he was able to make suggestions and insist on me doing this and that, which was a lot of fun. I got a lot of albums and album frames up on the wall here with different themes, so you'll be able to see everything. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull the camera off and just do the panorama view. I'm only a one-man operation here, so bear with me. Yep, got this recording. And I'm going to move this out of the way here. This wall is devoted to the classic female singers from the classic vocal era. Okay, and I've got a record sign there and some 78s mounted on a wall along with my stereo system. I'll show you who I have. I'm not going to say their names. You can see for yourself. Whoops. Billie Holiday, that's kind of in dark there. The Billie Holiday story. Chris Corner's not as big of a name, but she was really, really good. I found this album at a thrift store and I listened to it on the phone, and so I got it. I like the photograph there. Ella, Edith Piaf, Dinah Washington, the Bossa Nova lady, the girl from Ethiopia. I can't pronounce that name. This is actually a new artist. She's released this album a number of years ago, like 2 years ago, and getting ready to release another one. Her name is Alana. She has this great voice, and she was did a show not too far from my area where I live, up in Northern Virginia, and she did a meet and greet after the show, and I brought her album and I had her write on there. I don't know if you could see it. The lyric line, "I rose like the morning sun," which is a lyric from one of the songs on the album, and then she wrote, "Thank you, Lawrence," and her name. She was very gracious in signing it. Now, I'll back up, and the other wall there, I have some instruments. They're not expensive instruments. Just cheaper, student study type of instruments. That's a hollow body Memphis guitar, which is a cheap knockoff. And here, to represent the males of the classic vocal era, we have Bing Crosby, Nat King Cole, Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, Johnny Mathis, and the Mills Brothers. So I'll move back here. As you can enter in, when you enter the room and face there, you can see all the decorative music items. And then I'll move over here And this is where I have my my rock and roll, popular rock and roll stuff right there. I'm not going down the list. And then right here, this is the shelf I got at the Union Mission. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cubby holes. And each cubby holds about 50 albums. And what I like about this is on the edge, I'm able to mount albums. An album, a full album, as you can see, there is another decorative feature. So I'll remove Billy. You can see. So my jazz albums and my classic vocal era albums are in there. And we go over here, and we have my 180 gram vinyl, and they're all running here, and some of them are on the wall. So, and they run to about here, the more expensive 180 gram vinyl. And any new artists or veteran artist who releases new music, I buy a 180 gram now. That's cool. You get the download card. I like having the album, and it's much better than CD. I tried to keep these in pristine conditions. These little shelving units right here, they're separate. And what's so cool is they have top to bottom dividers here and there. And I have some in between right there. 180 gram, what I do is I give them plenty of breathing room when I shelf them in there, as not to do any damage to the spine. And they all are in plastic. I keep them all in pristine condition. They run to about right here, because when I die, my wife can sell them off and get a little money for them. And so I have those. Up on top, I have some more. I have the more contemporary artists of today who I like. Rhiannon Giddens, Amy. I'm not gonna say her first name, but I just shorten it, called Amy, right there. That album's autographed. The first aid kit, Valerie June. More recent releases, Brittany Howard and Temples. I got my lava lamp, some decorative items, another lava lamp. Got Elvis up there. So that's cool. To turn it around, this wall is devoted to my CD collection right there. Got those really nice cabinets. I never put the doors on that last one there. Perhaps I should do that sometime. Right there. And on top, really cool album covers by Command Records. And that's a story unto itself, but they're really known for their very eclectic album covers. A lot of people collect them just for that. We're going to move to the other side. I got the original. This is an original copy. It's been republished throughout the years, but this is the original. I got a garage sale for $10. The Life Magazine Special Edition Woodstock Music Festival. Up here, I got 4 clocks that are currently going along with Vinyl Emporia Good Vibes Only. What I'm going to do is pick 4 cities, music cities throughout the world. Maybe Liverpool, Memphis, San Francisco, another one. Mark them below and put the time zone they're in. So that'll be cool. And go around here. I got this at Barnes & Noble when I brought some vinyl. It was a bag, free bag. I got a reel-to-reel there. It's more for decorative things. Got a shelf here with books inside. And then we're in the other room I was talking about. And here, mounted on these shelves, is my JBL Model 43120A control monitor speakers, and they're actually upside down for a reason, which I won't go into, but to get the best sound quality, my friend recommended. And there's the other speaker too. And we're gonna back up. You can see my desk, my Beatle White Album poster, along with some Time magazine, some magazines, Cream, Time, Spin, Rock and Roll Stars. I got a little tower there, John Lennon box set, some books on tape, books on DVD rather, Led Zeppelin, and some more box sets here. Over here, more albums on the wall. This is like the classic rock era. They got Buddy Holly, Linda Ronstadt. You could see the Grateful Dead, and a really cool piece of work right there devoted to drums. A vintage I think this is late 60s or 70s radio. Another shelf with vinyl. I keep big band music on the top, international music, classical soundtracks. And then we come around to here, and Elvis Presley Boulevard with my window. This room has 2 windows, and they're very nice. You can really see everything. Now over here, I call this like the 70s classic album wall. Although Morrison Hotel and Let It Bleed came out, in the late 60s, but I put those up there just to kind of tail end the late 60s and going into the 70s with Tapestry, Fleetwood Mac Rumors, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, Led Zeppelin 4, Paul McCartney Wings, Band on the Run, Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, The Who, Who's Next. So your classic 70s albums. Got a little jukebox right here that actually plays, which I gotta push. A little sad story about this little jukebox I inherited from my sister, who passed away last summer. I like having it, but not that way, of course. And I almost brought it when I saw it at the thrift store. So, something to remind me of my sister. A nice picture of Elvis, the King, music thing here. I'll back up, you can see this window. Little shelf there. Some guitars. These are cheap guitars. And another shelving unit. And I keep here pop music from the 50s and 60s. The Air Supplies, the one-hit wonders. And that goes all the way over to here. Here I have what I call Latin pop, the Tijuana, and Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, and Sergio Mendes and the Brazilian 66. Here I got the folk music. I got all my soul and R&B right there. Mostly instrumental music, compilations, some old fogey mom and pop, grandma instrumental music there. Command Records 4-channel, 4-stereo, what do they call it? Memory block. Phase 4 stereo, London Records, and my Command Records. Right down there are duplicates. And right here, I almost forgot about this. This is where I keep all my country and western albums, which is really my prize. You know, got some Tom T. Hall there. That's cool. Let's see who else. Sonny James, Johnny Cash. I mean, they're all there. Dwight Yoakam, Hank Williams, some Ernest Tubb. Great. And this is all my ticket stubs, and I have to reestablish this because some of them collapse. So I'm going to remount them and hang that on the wall, find a place here. So we'll go back around and we'll conclude. Oh, one other thing. This rack here, and I'm going to move this light. This is a 1950s style vinyl rack, floor vinyl rack, which I got free. Well, not free, but I bought a $300 worth of jazz albums from this guy, and he threw this rack in there, and it has dividers right there. So this is very cool. Okay, I'm going to conclude. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to do some follow-up videos to go in more detail of what I have. This is put to be general. I really enjoyed this room. I enjoy watching your videos of your vinyl room videos. And I hope you enjoyed this one. And be looking out for follow-ups. I can go in more details, okay? Like describe my stereo system, which is very cool. Thank you for watching. Y'all have a good day. Bye.